He's hitting a sled when we were there. How do you look?
Yeah, Antonio, he'll be a game time decision, but no, he would not have to practice. He's a veteran enough, and he knows what he's doing. So just see what happens. And Vita moved around pretty good today when it was full speed.
Go over to Greg Allman.
Hey, Bruce, well, we've asked you about Vita Vea. You also might be able to get Kenyon Barner back. I was just trying to ask you, I know special teams has been a concern for you at times, but how much that would help and how much that might add to your return game if he can go Sunday?
Yeah, Jaden's been doing a good job, and he would help as a gunner, and we'll have to make a roster move to get him back up. So we got to wait and see how this all goes.
Go over to Mark Cook.
Hey, Coach. Earlier this year, you guys were one of the best in the league in the red zone as far as scoring touchdowns. Last 3 games, it's been a little shaky. I think 6 for your last 16. Have you been able to identify anything? Is it execution? Is it play calling? Is it just bad throws, bad catches? What is it that may be slowing you guys down in the red zone?
Yeah, a little bit of all the above. Mostly execution, and some of it's protection, some of it's routes, some of it's catching the ball. Had a couple go off our fingertips in the last few games that we need to catch.
I will go over to Eric Adelson.
Hi, Coach. I'm just curious, how has your coaching style had to change this year, the pandemic year, if at all?
My coaching style?
Yeah.
Not at all.
All right, we'll go over to Leo Haggerty.
Coach, what concerns you the most about Sunday, the cold or the wind?
Oh, it'd definitely be the wind. The wind is a much bigger factor, and I don't consider it cold unless it's single digits. It's not going to affect the game at 28 degrees, but the wind really affects the game.
We'll go to Jim Lane.
Hey, Coach. I know his name's probably not mentioned a whole lot because of the group of guys around him, but Tyler Johnson had 1 catch for you guys against the Saints. It was an important one, though, on 3rd down. Can you just speak to the job that this rookie's doing for you?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, he's modeling himself after Chris. He's doing a great job blocking. He does not drop balls, and he's improved tremendously. I'm really happy that. I didn't know if we were going to be able to salvage the year after that hamstring and all the missed time, but he's worked his tail off.
We'll go over to Tom Krasnicki.
Hi, Bruce. I want to ask you about Jason Pierre-Paul. I know this deep into the season, there aren't many guys who aren't 100%, but tell us where he's at with his knee. I know he's missed a lot of practice time and what you expect out of him this week.
Yeah, the one thing about JPP, he doesn't really need to be out on the practice field much. He knows what he's doing. It's just getting to the game with as much juice as possible. And I thought he played really well last week. And we've got a couple of guys that I don't see practicing that much. So it doesn't affect their ball game.
We'll go to Rick Stroud.
Bruce, I think before the game, Gronkowski had an interview with Willie McGinnis and said he could see himself coming back next year. I know he's a free agent, but just based on watching him move around and play this year, you still feel like he's got some football that would be something you'd welcome?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long way away from talking about all that kind of stuff, but he's playing extremely well for us, and I don't see any drop-off.
We'll go to James Palmer.
Bruce, a lot of talk always is about Patrick Mahomes, the no-look passes and things like that, but it seems like Aaron's been doing that for a really long time. How do you get your secondary and your linebackers to be able to handle themselves with the eye manipulation that he's so talented at?
Yeah, he kind of invented that stuff, and Aaron's outstanding at looking one way, throwing the other. His ability to make plays out of nothing, I think it's one of the best in the league because he can just flick that ball, be so accurate with it, that whether it's deep, short, and his movement in the pocket, I think he's one of the best there is.
Go back to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Coach. One of the things you said when you first came in was you talked about welcoming back a lot of former players, the guys that laid the foundation for the Bucs organization. And I know it's been difficult to really connect with them when you've got something like COVID that prevents them kind of from being there physically. But just what would it mean for you guys to be able to get a win on Sunday? Obviously, you want it for personal reasons, but also as kind of a nod, I guess, to some of the guys who again laid the foundation for the organization, guys like Derek Brooks, Mike Allstott, Warren Sapp, those Hall of Famers.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get texts and congratulations from those guys, and when the Bucs win, they win, and really, really proud of the heritage that they left, and but this is about making names for ourselves now, and I'm sure they're going to enjoy it.
All right, we'll go back to Rick Stroud.
Bruce, people judge quarterbacks in this league fairly or unfairly on Super Bowls, and Aaron Rodgers certainly has one. It's been 10 years. I don't think anybody doubts he's one of the best to play the game. But do you subscribe to the theory that, the true mark is multiple Super Bowls, or how many championships you can win at that position?
Not really. I mean, I go back to Danny Marino. I mean, he's arguably the best ever, and he didn't have any. So much of it's your team. How good your team, your defense, and your all your football players around you, not just the quarterback. Quarterbacks get all the laurels and all the blame, and so do coaches. But man, this is an ultimate team sport, and I just happened to be standing on the other side in that last Super Bowl he won, and he played really, really well.
We'll go over to Henry. We only have time for a few more.
Coach, hi from Brazil. Having coached the likes of Andrew Luck, Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, and Carson Palmer, what do you think that sets Brady's greatness apart from them?
Well, I think they all possess very, very similar traits. Their preparation is unbelievable. They're obviously great, talented guys. I like to say God gave them all the ability. You just try to get out of the way. And but they're all very, very similar, and they can impose their will on the huddle.
We'll go to Greg Allman.
Bruce, this will be the fifth NFL team that you've coached in a game at Lambeau with. You've won there, you've lost there. What are some of your favorite memories, or what makes that stand out among NFL stadiums you've been in?
Just the history of the place. I think they're great fans. It's always been a joy to go coach there, just because of the history of the game. Like you said, we won some, we lost some, but Lambeau is one of the true iconic venues to play in.
We'll go to JP Peterson and then finish with Sarah Walsh.
Hey, Bruce, this is kind of a philosophical question, but it certainly applies in these rematch situations. From a coaching standpoint, game plan, when you played so well against a team previously, how much do you just say, hey, that's our matchup, let's just do what we do best, or expect the obvious changes that they're going to make? And it's kind of that chess match that you play. How do you approach that?
Well, I think you look at what they've done in their last 8 ball games, and it's different. So you defend what you're seeing now, not that game's history. They're a different football team, and we are too. So it's a matter of what you see in the last 8 games versus the first 8, and get ready to play.
All right, the last one will come from Sarah Walsh.
Hey, Bruce, sort of piggybacking on that, when you talk about the last 8 games, this may go hand in hand with what you guys were doing in terms of executing and all that. But at this point in the year, can you just speak to not only what momentum does, but what momentum has done for this Tampa Bay team down this stretch?
I think it's just a matter of just continue to build confidence without arrogance, respecting your opponent, getting ready to play, taking care of business every single day and then build till Sundays. And we have a very confident football team, and we very, very respect our opponents.
Well, that's all for today. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.